London, the swinging 60s, perhaps the most exciting time in music history, when popular music became the UK's biggest export. At the heart of it all was the phenomenon of the Beatles. The lads from Liverpool created the type of unbridled excitement not seen since Elvis rocked the United States 10 years earlier. We called this hysteria a Beatlemania, and the groups that followed, the Rolling Stones, the Dave Clark Five, Herman's Hermits, Peter and Gordon, and among others, all rode the wave to international superstardom. In the United States, this period in musical history came to be known as the British Invasion. Hello, I'm Norman MacLeod, and I'm here in San Francisco, the USA, for it's here that the British invasion has taken a very odd turn indeed.
Straight from Shepherd's Bush, London, England, here on the first leg of their 2007 Back from Oblivion tour. You may remember them from their ill-fated non-appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show in 1964 when the Beatles filled in for them. The two gentlemen responsible for much of the music of the 60s, the vanguards of the British invasion, Nigel and Clive, and the British invasion.
You're looking at Nigel Wakefield and Clive Wigglesworth, two Brits who have lived in the United States for the last 38 years. They're musicians who have started to perform regularly around San Francisco, going by the name Nigel and Clive. By itself, that wouldn't make them any different from the thousands of bands trying to make a name for themselves. But we're going to hear their story because they have made a rather fantastic claim. Gentlemen, I'd like to start with introductions first. Can you tell us your names?
Nigel Wakefield.
Clive Wigglesworth.
Now, are we to believe, gentlemen, the claim that you are publicly making, that you, not the Beatles or the Rolling Stones or anyone else, are responsible for what came to be known as the British invasion?
Yes.
That's right.
How are you responsible?
Well, I wrote the music.
We wrote the music.
We?
Yes.
I'm the one that actually wrote it down.
I made it up in my head.
It doesn't matter if you made it up in your head. It matters what gets written down on the
No,
page.
writing is making it up in your head, Nigel. It's not just
When
transcribing
you look at the
it down
music,
on a
does it
piece of
say
paper.
made up in the head of, or does it say
Either
written?
way, gentlemen, you're making a remarkable, some might say outrageous claim. Do you mean to say that you wrote the music for the Beatles?
Yes.
And the Rolling Stones?
Yes.
And the Kinks, the Hollies, the Dave Clark Five, the Animals, Peter and Gordon, the Zombies?
All of it?
Yes.
And how is it that you are waiting until now, 2007, to make that claim? This music was written and performed over 40 years ago.
Well, it can only be described as a series of unfortunate events.